It ain't always simple. We send patients to the ER all the time. All the time. Um, if you are having issues in the home, don't worry because it's not, or don't panic as a nurse, because the reassuring part about home care is that you know you've done all you can do when you pass it on to someone who can do more than you. For example, calling the EMTs. Working in a hospital, you can call Cold Blue, you can call Cold, I don't know, rapid response. There's so many different things that you could call where people come rushing in, and you feel validated for the decisions that you made. Whereas in home care, I think my biggest fear when I began was, what am I doing enough? What more can I do for this patient? And even when I worked in the hospital, I would go home thinking like, well, damn, did I do all that I can do? Did I put my best foot forward and perform care to the best of my ability? Whereas in home care, I know that I feel relieved when I call 911, because the worst thing that can happen is they go to the ER and it's nothing. They get a bill, but it's off my conscience, and I would just much rather be safe than sorry. The gentleman that we just sent to the hospital, it was a therapist, and he shouldn't have been home. He's been having issues since he came home. He's eating maybe one bowl of oatmeal a day. Like, he's not eating, he's not drinking, he has tubes. It's just a lot going on. So I feel reassured knowing that he was sent to the hospital for what it is that he needed to go for. I actually didn't send him. The therapist called me and said that she was sending him, and I was going to go see him anyway after my other patient. And they weren't far apart. Probably the patient lived 10 minutes from the other guy. So I just ran over there because I needed to get the visit in so that I can get points for that visit. And plus, I just wanted to see him because I just wanted to verify what she's seen, because sometimes from a therapist's point of view, it's more serious than how from a nurse perspective. Like, I may feel like it's not that serious and he's okay, and then she may feel like, oh my God, he needs to go to the ER. And then we kind of coordinate care and decide what's the best interest of the patient. And in today's situation, the best interest of the patient was to get sent out to the ER. We talked to the EMTs, and EMT, the nurse, as well as the occupational therapist who was there. We all coordinated care and decided what was best for the patient. I think in certain situations too, I mean, you can't really say too much, but because a lot of times families are in denial of what's actually going on. Nobody wants to think the worst when it comes down to their family member. Everybody wants their family to do well. Nobody want to think the worst, but I am, if you can't tell, I am a person that puts my foot down and I just reinforce the reality of things. Like, the reality is, this is what it is, and this is bound to happen, and this. And I'm not speaking in specifics because of HIPAA. I don't want to speak about the current patient and what he was going through. But an example is, if the patient has cancer and the cancer metastasized throughout the body, and the patient is weak and can't get out of the bed, and the family is like, oh no, he gotta wash himself and he needs physical therapy and he needs this. It's kind of like, the reality of it is, he's not going to do it. He can't do it. He's physically incapable of doing it. I know the person that you used to know, and I know you feel as though that he can do it, but reality is he can't. Like, he's physically unable to do it. So I just feel like a lot of times I kind of bring the family up to speed as to what's going on and just set real expectations for the patient. Sometimes we refer to hospice or palliative care, and just even in that, you gotta tell people that it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's in the best interest of the patient to do those things, because they may be fighting and holding on for their families, and in reality they're suffering because that's not really what they want to do, especially if there's children involved. Nobody wants to lose a parent, nobody wants to lose a child, but the reality is we all have to die one day. prayer. I pray with my patients. I pray for my patients. I sit, and sometimes I'll sit in the house for over an hour talking about God and being spiritual with a patient. You just never know, not even just a patient, the family members. When you sign on for care, any kind of care, home care, hospital care, you never have just one patient. You always have to cater to their families as well, which is why I never wanted to work in peds, because I know how I am with my son and about my son. So I can't imagine, yeah, like I understand as a parent. I get it. So yeah, that's just it for today. That was just a little reality of home care. And I just wanted to show you guys the ambulance behind me at the person's house, because I thought that was important for people to see. And again, I feel like I flagged my superhero cape when sending a person to the hospital, because I feel like I did all that I can do. Have a blessed day. Go Eagles. The game is on tonight. It's Thursday, October 11th. We are playing the Giants. Go Birds.